Did you see any fatalities at all? Anybody
no,
hurt?
I could not see. All I could see was, I couldn't even see part of the airplane sticking out of the building. Apparently the tail piece is sticking out of the building, according to... That's what that was?
In addition to that, law enforcement sources are telling me, Lori and Rick, that they hear that what they received were at least 2 cell phone intercepts, that they were able to intercept 2 cell phone calls from Osama bin Laden backers. One of them appeared to be on the ground where they were saying, look, some of the targets have been hit, sort of jubilating and excited that some of the targets had been struck, indeed, by these planes. And then another one, it sounds like actually may have come from one of the hijackers themselves, a cell phone call intercepted by a hijacker, rather from a hijacker to possibly even another hijacker on the same plane or to somebody on the ground. But intelligence sources are telling me that they were able to intercept at least 2 cell phone calls indicating that Osama bin Laden was tied indeed to these 2 attacks, at least these 2 that were carried out, and obviously connected then, therefore, to the 4 others. Right now, law enforcement sources are saying they are almost 99% certain, is what I'm being told, that Osama bin Laden is behind this. And in addition, obviously, to the cell phone calls, which is much more hard evidence compared to other things that they were getting earlier, they are still looking at all the warning signs. This is the only man who had the financial backing. This is the only man who had the infrastructure for the World Wide Web, the tentacles really all over the world to be able to carry out this. And they also say it would have taken at least many months to plan this type of thing. And, of course, they're trying to find out right now, was it somebody on the inside in terms of the airports getting in who was able to get in this close? Were they all on the manifest? Were some of them able to just sneak in? Some of these things, of course, have yet to be determined. Back to you.
There are a lot of 757 and 767 training, or a lot of it available. And, our people train air crews from all over the world, our people meaning in the United States.
Rita's sources saying that they are 99% certain at this point that Osama bin Laden was behind today's terrorist attacks.
I have heard a total of 3 booms, that initial boom, and then I heard 3 less large booms, but booms nonetheless. Have you heard the same thing?
Yes, I did. Smaller explosions. Maybe it's inside the building, some gas lines exploding or something. I don't know. But we heard the other explosions.
President Bush is here at the home of the Strategic Command. This is the area, this is the base where those big doomsday aircraft are kept. And he has disappeared down the rabbit hole, Peter.
In New York, I came down the length of Manhattan, and a lot of people were simply unaware of what had happened. As you tuned in the radio, and then they began to get it. It's election day here in New York.
Primary day.
And what we have is something that most Americans thought could never occur.
I want to get quickly to Chris Kanicki. He's a photographer with the Pittsburgh affiliate of Fox affiliate. He was back there just a couple of minutes ago, and Chris, I've seen the pictures. It looks like there's nothing there except for a hole in the ground.
Basically, that's right. The only thing you could see from where we were was a big gouge in the earth and some broken trees. We could see some people walking around in the area, but from where we could see, there wasn't much left.
Any large pieces of debris at all?
No, there was nothing that you could distinguish that a plane had crashed there.
Smoke, fire?
Nothing. It was absolutely quiet. It was actually very quiet. Nothing going on down there, no smoke, no fire, just a couple of people walking around. They look like part of the NTSB crew walking around looking at the pieces.
How big would you say that hole was?
From my estimates, I would guess it was probably about 20 to 15 feet long and probably about 10 feet long, or 10 feet wide.
What could you see on the ground, if anything, other than dirt and ash? And
you couldn't see anything. You could just see dirt, ash, and people walking around.
Big question in terms of trying to resolve today to have mounted this attack against the United States, though, as always, the intelligence community has gone almost immediately to Osama bin Laden as a principal suspect, and we don't yet know why they have done that, but it seems to be something of a tradition.
Continuing coverage, America Under Attack.
And a short time later, I would say, we heard, and these are approximate times, we heard roughly 10 minutes later a smaller explosion. Didn't see anything unusual. The building was already on fire and was already smoking, so I don't know whether it was perhaps a gas line inside the building or something else entirely. But we have, since the initial explosion, have heard 2 smaller explosions, but we just don't have the information about what exactly happened there. But you just heard from the eyewitness.
We're going to stop you because Dave Statter is now on the scene. We've heard from others that it's a 757. Dave, are you there?
I'm here, the west side of the Pentagon, the helicopter port off of Washington Boulevard. Plane into the side of the building. There's a bit of a hole on that side of the building. Arlington Fire and Rescue, military fire on the scene, putting foam on it. The plane did not seem to go into the building like the World Trade Center attacks. It seemed more to glance the side of it and certainly do some damage to the left side of the building.
Yes, let's see. You know, normally Metro Transit Police are pretty low-key, but today some of them are carrying machine guns. You'll probably see that officer come into view here momentarily. Really an unusual sight in a free society. The other thing that I think is very fortunate, not too many months ago, Metro installed electronic information signs. There's one there, and those are proving to be incredibly helpful today. They're a bit alarming with the red security alert. And the person that the U.S. government now believes is behind this, I'll hold up this, it's a poster of the FBI's 10 most wanted. If you can see there, it's Osama bin Laden, of course, among the FBI's 10 most wanted, now believed to be the mastermind behind the terrorist attacks that happened today.
We saw an attack with weapons of mass destruction.
General Dunning, I've asked this question several times today. Perhaps you wouldn't mind answering it as well. There is a sense that the intelligence community or the counter-terrorist, because I think we all know at moments like this, the country looks to the President of the United States for understanding, for knitting the country together, and some presidents do it brilliantly, and some do not. Here is Mr. Bush. Okay, this was well, this is what we've expected him to do.
Today, our nation saw evil, the very worst of human nature.